Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to talk a couple of things in today's video, including a new ship in Star Citizen that is going to cost $675. I haven't really talked much about Star Citizen on this channel just because it's a little depressing talking about that game. $250 million funded, $675 microtransactions, and I just don't know about this game. We'll talk all about that. Also, we've got some new gameplay details on CyberPunk 2077. The map in that game actually might be a little bit smaller than Witcher 3, which I find rather interesting. However, that might actually be a good thing, and I'll explain why. And also, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I really enjoyed Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is a game that's available on Game Pass. It was a part of Humble Monthly pretty recently, and now it is getting official modding support, and a lot of tools are going to be given to the players. I'll talk that at the end of this video. But first up, this is making the rounds on Reddit right now, and Star Citizen has announced a $675 mine-laying ship. Now, Star Citizen is a game that I followed for quite a while, and then it got a little bit comical with how this game was just never coming out, how they were getting so much funding, and it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, I feel like this has been covered pretty in-depth at this point, but development of Star Citizen began all the way back in 2011, and it's mostly been financed by a large crowdfunding campaign, and right now, it is sitting north of $250 million crowdfunded. I believe that was the last number that came out, which is absolutely astronomical when you think about it. Big budget games don't have anywhere near that kind of budget. Even the top tier Rockstar titles, to get them out, they don't require $250 million. $250 million is just an insane amount of money, and when you compare it to the Rockstar game, a large portion of the Rockstar funds are spent on actually promoting the game, marketing, TV ads, all that kind of stuff. Star Citizen really doesn't have anything like that. However, it does have stuff like CitizenCon and whatever the case may be. But I do know that there's a large portion of people invested into this game. I really don't know how you could be. I mean, more power to you if you're investing a ton of your money into this game, if you're absolutely loaded and you can, you know, drop 4 or 5 grand into the game, because that's literally what some people have dropped. Some people have dropped well over that. It's just an astronomically high number to me, and it does seem like the perception with this game is beginning to change, because you look at social media, Twitter, Reddit, whatever the case may be, a lot of people are giving a lot of backlash to the game, also with a lot of other YouTubers talking about it. But a $675 ship, that is absolutely insane, and it does know with 4 centuries of distinguished service under its belt, the Aegis Dynamics and Nautilus Tactical Mine Layer represents the ultimate in strategic combat engineering, with fully integrating mine deployment, sweeping, and disarming capabilities. This limited edition Solstice model is exclusive to members of the Chairman's Club and includes sequential serial numbering according to production order. So if you do get this, it's a limited item, and I guess it might even go up in value over time, because there are just some people that are so into it. It's crazy to me, but nonetheless, I guess more power to the people that are spending money on this. I just think it's insane. I mean, I've complained about the little microtransactions. I've complained about dropping $60 on some games, and then when you talk about $675 for an in-game ship, yeah, that's a little crazy and something that I can't even justify. But nonetheless, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on Star Citizen, because that's something I typically don't cover on this channel. It's just a game I've just completely forgotten about. I talked about it years ago, maybe like 2016, 2017. However, now in 2019, that's a game that's really escaped my radar. Alright, next up, I want to move on to a game that I know the majority of you guys are very excited for, and that is CyberPunk 2077, and it's coming from CD Projekt Red. And at this point, if CD Projekt Red is putting out a game, you would have to think that it would be some sort of massive open world experience, and CyberPunk 2077 is going to be in an open world, the open world of Night City. However, if you're expecting CyberPunk 2077 to be this enormous game, you know, even bigger than Witcher 3, a sizable increase from Witcher 3, it's not going to be that. It actually was noted by CD Projekt Red that the game might be a little bit smaller compared to The Witcher 3. It was noted by producer Richard Borzymowski, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but he noted with GameSpot, quote, "If you look at pure surface in terms of square kilometers, then Cyberpunk 2077 might even be a little bit smaller than The Witcher 3, but it's the density of the content, taking the world of The Witcher and squeezing it right in, deleting the wilderness between. Obviously, in The Witcher, we were in open world with vast lanes and forests in between smaller cities and larger cities like Novigrad, but in Cyberpunk 2077, we're set in Night City. It's an integral part of the setting. It's essentially a protagonist protagonist, if you want to call it that, so it has to be denser. It wouldn't give us the end effect we wanted to achieve if the city wouldn't be believable, so we packed it full of life. I think this is great. You know, a lot of games are making the transition into open world, and it's very easy to bait people being like, oh, explore this massive world, but how packed is that world? How alive is that world? And how engaging is that world? That's what a lot of games are starting to miss out on. You see a lot of games that were formerly linear, or games that maybe the studio would have taken a linear approach, but because so many other games are going open world, and open world is the biggest genre in gaming right now, I don't think it's hyperbole in saying that, at least from a single player standpoint, that they kind of lose a lot of their appeal when actually designing the game. In the case of CyberPunk 2077, Night City is still going to be massive. However, this is going to be a game that's going to be a little bit smaller but more alive. That city is going to be electric. It's going to be a living, breathing city, and I would much prefer that than an open world that's a little bit desolate, a little bit empty, and a little bit kind of just like empty space that, yeah, there's a lot to explore. You can go from point A to point B and it'll take you quite a while, but how alive is that world? I think they're making the right call with Cyberpunk 2077, even though it's been 5 years since the release of The Witcher 3, and just generally you would expect the game to be even bigger, and maybe it will be bigger in the sense of there being more content and more stuff to do because everything is just so packed out in the city. But in the case of just square kilometers, it is going to be a smaller game than Witcher 3, and I think that is actually the best for the game. Again, Cyberpunk 2077 is due out April 16, 2020. At this point, I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that the game won't be delayed, but with that far of a release date out, I wouldn't be all too surprised, but let's just hope for the best on that. And lastly, I do want to note something awesome. Kingdom Come Deliverance is getting official modding support. That was announced at Gamescom as well. The developers are working on a set of tools that should give more power to modders, including the ability to create quests. It was noted that the mods are only going to be available to PC players, so it is what it is. However, Kingdom Come Deliverance getting official modding support is awesome. Obviously, KCD was just a part of Humble Monthly. It is right now a part of Xbox Game Pass as well. Unfortunately, it is the base game in both of those regards. They released a lot of DLC. They re-released the game as the Royal Edition, and it has all the DLC included. And the DLC is quite good, so if you're looking to get into KCD, if you're okay with the base game, by all means, just subscribe to Game Pass. The Royal Edition, I would imagine it would go on sale for like, say, $20 later this year, so that wouldn't be a bad buy. But this is going to be a game with a lot of longevity attached to it now that it is getting official modding support. I think this is one of the more underrated RPGs of the last few years. If you look at the last few years, obviously there are standouts like The Witcher 3. However, KCD I thought was quite a good game as well. Yes, it's a little bit more hardcore. Yes, it emphasizes the realism, but it being a historical RPG, I think that actually adds to the game. Has a little bit of a learning curve. It had some issues on PC at launch, but those issues have been mostly remedied, but it is a quality experience. Now, if you're not going to pick it up right away, or you're not going to subscribe to Game Pass, add it to your wishlist. I definitely wouldn't say, you know, pay the $40 for the Royal Edition, but add it to your wishlist, and down the line when it does go on sale, it'll definitely be worth a buy then. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, Star Citizen is getting an absolutely insane $675 mine-laying ship. Obviously, it's a limited time item, and I guess people are gonna be really all over it, at least those that are invested into Star Citizen as an experience. Still, I just find it absolutely insane that after north of $250 million of crowdfunding, that this game is still in development, that people are still investing into it. I pretty much jumped off board of the Star Citizen hype at this point, but let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know if you've been invested into the game, if you've dropped a sizable amount on it, and what your overall thoughts on it. Cyberpunk 2077 is obviously, probably by the majority of PC gamers, the most anticipated game of 2020. However, it does look like it's going to be a little bit smaller of a game than Witcher 3 when you just compare by square kilometers. However, in the case of Cyberpunk, it does look like it's going to be a denser game with more content. So that is awesome, and if you've yet to check out KCD, Kingdom Come Deliverance, at least add it to your wish list, as it is getting official modding support, and it is just a great RPG. Again, the base game is available with a Game Pass subscription, which you can sign up for 2 months for $2, and that'll take you right into the release of Gears 5 as well, so that's pretty awesome. That's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.